Hello everybody, once again I'm back here. Tonight, now I'm going to show you some of the tank designs that actually went into production. Some that never even made it past the prototype stage. Here's one. It was the heavy Jag Panzer without the tracks. I just didn't add it to this one, but this one actually went into production. I made like a series of 50 of these. The next one was a prototype, supposed to be a light Panzer with a rotating turret. It never went into production. I just didn't like the design of it. I may use it future later. There's the Panzer IV. This was the initial first prototype I made, and I actually painted it. It had a smaller barrel on it, the 105 millimeter gun on it, but then I realized they couldn't put it on that size Panzer, not on a turret. They just didn't have a large enough turret ring, so it had to be downsized to the specialized KWK 75L 58 gun, which is what's on the other ones that I showed in my earlier video. Next was another Jag Panzer. This was kind of modeled after a Romanian tank destroyer that was developed in World War II, a little bit smaller than this one. As you can see, kind of see the size of the soldiers with it. It was a very large one. It would have been in the 40-ton class. I decided not to build it just because I just was going to work on some other designs that I thought would be just more along the lines of what the Germans were working on at the time, trying to keep true to that. Now it's going to be a little creative, so I probably won't keep it to the same detail as what the Germans have, the same specs as what the Germans were working on towards the end of the war, but I'm going to stay true as much as I can to that. Next one was a Panzer I was working on. The body chassis style was something that Porsche was working on, so I kind of modeled it after that. As you can see, more angular. It still had the sloped armor. It would have had a machine gun right here, ball mount machine gun. You can see the tracks, interweaved wheels, and then this had a more narrow turret on it, as you can see. I kind of like the turret design, but I decided it yet again wasn't something that the Germans probably wouldn't have been building at that time, so I just left it out of production. The next one is one of the very first ones I made of the small E-15 tank destroyers. This is the first one I ever made, and that went into production. I think I ended up producing several hundred of those. The next one was a variation on the E-15. Which was more of a Sturm Panzer, carrying a heavy howitzer gun on it, as you can see. And over here, here's the final production of the Panzer IV with the actual longer barrel on it. Once again, I made some modifications. I took off this back part and just cut it off right there, as I did on this one, as you can see. That's a turret. Here's another variation on the Panzer IV. It would become the Panzer IV. It's a tank destroyer carrying a much heavier gun, 105 millimeter anti-tank gun. So it was in a fixed casemate, not a turret. So they could actually theoretically put a larger caliber gun on that tank chassis, but they wouldn't have been able to put it in a turret due to the turret ring being too small. They couldn't expand the turret anymore. Therefore, they couldn't put a larger caliber gun in it. But building up from the chassis, building casemates, they could have done that. As you can see, there's a little commander's visual, driver's visual. And here's another, the E-15 Panzer, light Panzer, which I showed you in an earlier video. So, that's some of the tanks I've come up with. I got more that I'm going to show you, but they're still in the development stage, so at this point I won't be showing them anytime soon, probably, at least not for another couple of weeks. I'm just going to kind of pan around and give you another view of these. As you can see, those soldiers right there, you can see the scale. Gives you a little bit of an idea of what the size of the tanks are to the soldiers. As you can see, some of the variants of the tanks are much smaller. And that is pretty much all. I'll be seeing you soon. Thank you.